Hey everyone, Steven here from Board Game Weekenders. Today I'm going to teach you how to play Match-O-Rama, a 4 to 8 player game published by the Op. Let's get to it. In Match-O-Rama, your goal is to score the most points by matching your response to the category with at least one player within the range set on your prediction dial. The more chances you give yourself to make a match, the fewer points that you will earn. Press your luck to score big. To set up, give each player a dry erase board and a dry erase marker. Next, shuffle the blue and orange category cards together and place them in a face-down stack in the center of the table. And finally, place the scoring tokens in the center of the table for easy reach for all of the players. In Match-O-Rama, the first player to reach 35 points wins the game. The game is played over a series of rounds, and each round has 6 steps. The first step of each round is to flip the first card of the category deck face up so that everyone can see it in the center of the table. The second step of the round is to look at the back side of the next card on the deck that indicates which of the 3 categories to read and direction of play. In this case, we have a B, so the category would be found at a campsite for this round, and the direction would be counterclockwise. Remember, you're trying to match the answer to the players in that direction around the table. And for the third step of the round, everyone will secretly write their response to the category at the same time on their whiteboard. And remember, this is done in secret. So for this category, maybe I would write tent. Your answer can be more than one word, but it's best to keep it simple. The goal is to make an exact match with another player. Spelling also doesn't count as long as other players can understand what was written. Next, each player will set their prediction dial to the number of chances that they believe they will need to find a match. The fewer the chances you give yourself, the more points you can earn. A higher prediction gives you more chances to find a match, but will earn you fewer points. You might need to press your luck with a low prediction to try to score more points. By setting the dial to 2, that player will have 2 chances to try to match the word tent with either the player to their immediate right or the player after that, because this is counterclockwise. If it was the opposite, it would be the player to their left and then the player left of them. So if this player matched up with either of those 2 players and wrote tent, that player would score 4 points. When everyone is ready, reveal your answers at the same time and read them aloud. If you match with at least one player in your predicted range, you score the points indicated on your dial. You will only earn points once, regardless of the number of matches that you make. And if you didn't make a match within your predicted range or didn't match at all, it is 0 points. Here's an example of how a scoring round might work. This player wanted to match within 2 players and they wrote the word tent, which they did because 1, 2, this player also wrote tent, so this player would get 4 points. This player wanted to match within 5 players and they wrote the word fire, so they'd go 1, 2, 3, and they did match with fire, so they would get 1 point. This player over here wrote the word tent also, but they wanted to match within 1 player. So that's the person next to them on their right, which would be backpack, so this player would get 0 points. This player wrote the word backpack and no one else did, so they would score 0 points. And finally, this player wanted to match within 3 players, and they did because 1, 2, and this person wrote fire, so they would score 3 points. When scoring points, give the correct player the correct point tokens from the center of the table. If 2 answers are similar, but not the same, everyone must vote to determine if there is a match. If no consensus can be reached, the player who would benefit from getting the points would receive half rounded down. So for example, if a consensus could not be reached about computer and laptop, and these players both scored points for the match, they would receive half the points rounded down. So this player would score 2 points, and this player would score 1. And remember, the player to reach 35 points wins the game. For a longer game, you can play to 50 points. You can even mix it up and switch seats partway through the game. Okay everyone, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below. Until next time, we'll see ya.